G'day, this is Captainoob, and this is an eraser pistol from Call of Duty Infinite Warfare. The one that everybody hated was released around the time of Battlefield 1. From my understanding, it is the Fallout Brotherhood of Call of Duty games. The one that you pretend it doesn't exist. Right now, as you can tell, it's got some sort of Gauss barrel. The animations in third person aren't super polished, but in first person, it's got some really cool animations, which will just sort of flick the whole barrel and magazine assembly out the gun, and you just replace it with a new one like that. Now, you might notice how we're not currently on a workbench. We've got a little mod called Weapons Framework, which could have used some more distinct naming if you ask me, but what it does is it allows us to attach things on the fly. I've set up a hotkey. This one does require the use of Fallout 4 script extender, so this is not a PC option, but you can go through every single one of these sites. So this is the standard basket here. We can go for a Monstrum, which has more of an ACOG sort of reticule crosshair on it. Then you've got a bunch of holo scopes or sights look like that. This one's in light blue. There's also red. There's also a Monstrum digital like that, which gives you more of a sort of a see-through scope display with a half-decent zoom in there. Potentially, if you want to use this at a longer range than as a Gauss receiver on this thing, you'd be in pretty good shape to do that. There's also a light yellow for the holographics, purple and green. We'll skip those because they're basically all the same despite having basically different colors. But this one here looks more like an EOTech reticule there with a sight. It's a very EOTech looking sight, perhaps a little bit more boxy than usual, but yep, we get the idea of that one. And we've also got a Silox Holo Scout. Silix? Something like that. There's some professional grade Call of Duty futuristic jargon with these sights, so you know it's a futuristic gun if the function of it didn't give that away already. And lastly, we've got a Razor UZ3, which looks like that. I reckon the best sights out of this one is the basket one, but if we want to change that on the fly, we can always do that. If we want to unload that and equip some sights on the side, you can do that, but as far as I'm aware, there is no animation option to actually utilize those, so you can't aim like a gangster with this thing, unfortunately. So we'll just attach the basket one back on, and you can actually change the animations, though. So right now we've got powerful and tough, some adjectives in there just to make it feel different, and you have relax and cool, which you'll hold it like, oh, okay, so if you've got the relax and cool, you'll be using the sights on the side like that. Interesting. Well, that's just weird. Anyways, we'll go powerful and tough for now. I suppose we could throw on a sight on the side just in case we want to hold this sideways as we aim down sights, but there's an option for you. Right now I've got the Gauss barrel, which I've already fired that off. It makes the same sound as a unsuppressed Gauss rifle, so if you've got a sound replacer for that, that's a button to watch, to witness the watch, not Y. It's next to T, you understand. But you can also have the laser barrels, semi-automatic. Atomic Tech is going to be your standard red laser beams from the vanilla game. Watts Tech is going to be green laser beams, and Alien Tech is going to be blue laser beams. Same as the Institute, but the muzzle flash is going to be like the Alien Blaster, so it gives a little bit of an alien feel. I'll give you an idea of what they're like with the the fully automatic ones. Now, I'm colorblind. That looks more yellow to me, so correct me if I'm wrong in the comments. And next up, we'll go for the full auto Alien Tech. Worth mentioning that you do get slightly extra bits of damage using the blue beamed versions, but it's not really enough to make you choose it over an aesthetical preference of whatever color you actually want. And we'll go for a full auto Atomic Tech here. We've already seen many of the lasers here as we try to check the time again. I think my character's telling me to hurry up here. Okay, so there's a bunch of different barrels. Gauss barrel was a semi-auto only, gives you the best damage, but the rest of these are also fun to use. And you can have a laser sight on the bottom of this, which looks like that. It's actually pointing a little bit down in third person. Is it on target in first person? I guess we'll find out. It doesn't look too bad. I can't even see it there, but potentially we're getting slightly better hip fire out of this thing now that we've got it, and I'm pretty sure the only thing left to do is look at the materials of this thing. So you can have it gray, gold, black like it was before, blackest black, solid gold, and titanium, which I would argue is chrome because, you know, it's all shiny and stuff, but Titanium it is. So a bunch of different colors for you to choose from. Obviously, Call of Duty gold guns means you've done some significant work with them, but we're only just starting with this thing, so we'll make it blackest black. You know what they say, once you go black, you never go back, except for the part where you remember that you gotta clean it every 15 minutes to keep the thing looking clean, but once it is clean, that's when you never go back, because black cars, they look unreal when they're clean. Anyways, there's the Razor pistol. We'll get started here. We'll only need to take one of these. Let's talk about getting this thing before shooting people, yes. In order to get the Razor pistol, there is one world drop for it, which is really easy to find. We're in Sanctuary right now, but there is also a leveled integration system, which will allow you to see more of these in-game, and also you'll be able to get them off enemies instead. So here we are, outside of Sanctuary Hills, where all the Chatterbox companions are. I've stepped up on top of this fence. They don't come and talk to me, but you want to go to the Soul Survivor's house, and you'll find it in Sean's crib, which has been deleted, but that's where Sean's crib would be. He was just like sitting on a Razor pistol because reasons. So we'll grab that. Excellent. And there we go. Ignore the HUD being shit. That's just a bug. Don't worry about it. Righto, so we've already had a pretty good look at this thing, so we'll get right into it outside of the Immersive Gunners Plaza, as we usually start. It looks like some of the gunners have been aggroed to something, so whilst they're taking on whatever it is over there, I've got a little top tip for you. So we'll go over to barrel here, and we'll equip a full automatic one, and we'll reload that. That'll give you 20 bullets, which you can go ahead and swap to the Gauss barrel now. This is only meant to have an ammo capacity of 10, but we've got 20 in here, so there you go. The reload's that fast that it probably won't be that much use anyway, but if you want to do a little bit of a dodgy and give yourself 10 more ammo than what you usually would, you can go and do that. And we're going to start off here by trying to snipe some dudes, and we get a lot of shots in VATS. Okay, this might be a full VATS round here because we're going to get crits left, right, and center with this thing. Just keep in mind that every other shot after the third, every shot after the third is going to be an automatic crit. And with that in mind, we can utterly decimate our foes. I'm actually seeing that these guys, one of them disintegrated into ash, which is great. I'm not really sure, maybe the Gauss does that in Call of Duty. Actually, I don't think I've ever seen any disintegrations. Boba Fett doesn't play. I'm pressing space for no reason, but we're going to have a very giant VAT streak here. It's actually slowing the game down a little bit because I haven't got a clear line of sight. They're actually going around and behind cover, but that was a very big gun foo streak, and I'm not going to let it stop there, I'll tell you that much, because this is just the beginning. You know what? Screw that gunner in particular. And that turret, not having any of it. But before I'm done with any of this, probably we'll just get in there now because I've wasted half of these gunners already. Now this thing, unlike a standard Gauss, doesn't have to be charged up, and it's strong. It's really strong. You haven't seen the damage numbers on this, have you? But you can tell from here that we're getting quite a lot. And we'll go over to the weapon card right now. 554. I think that's actually been a little bit upped thanks to Preston Garvey's perk there, but we weren't getting that much before. And a quick little level up there sets our health right, but I think it is time to use an automatic version, and we're going to go for the What's Tech because I like the green/yellow lasers, man. And we'll pop a fresh mag in this before we press on here. So as you can tell, the effectiveness of the energy-based projectile significantly less. I suppose you could say that it's there for flavor, I suppose, but I mean, it's like we get a billion shots with this thing anyway, so if you want to chuck on some sort of legendary effect that'll be good with a bunch of extra shots, we'll be fine. And it looks like headshots on this thing get more than enough damage than what we need to kill these guys very quickly. Worth mentioning, it is using the fusion cells right now. We're getting into a different ammo pool when it comes to using this weapon as opposed to the standard Gauss. And maybe I spoke too soon about this thing being a little bit weak. Sure, it's not going to be 1 or 2 shotting these guys, but the DPS I feel like is there. The only thing that is slowing us down is just the reload between every kill. Probably my fault. If we zero in and hit every single shot on the head, these guys will drop easily before a magazine, but my aim's not perfect. I'm only human. We'll add criticals into that mix and do a little jump for joy after as I'm spamming that crit button outside of that. There we go. So we're pretty much making a mockery of Gunner's Plaza at this point, which is not too bad. Don't really see too many energy pistols that are sort of built for an endgame fashion, because normally they're these makeshift weapons that people make up. Very creative, but lacking in endgame potential, you would argue. And as I just copped some plasma to the face there, that didn't look pleasant. Maybe your mouth was open, got a nice little clean on your fangs before the gunner's fight is over. I'm wondering just how much extra damage I would get for utilizing the alien tech. So we'll go over to the full auto alien tech, get that away. As it turns out, a lot more. It's actually got a weird alien... It sounds like it's got almost a Gauss rifle-ish impact sound. That big chunky flesh hit that you'd get if you shoot people with a Gauss gun, which is kind of odd. But we've got Nerd Rage now, we may as well utilize it. We get to see that reload a little bit in slow motion. Maybe I overestimated exactly how many gunners I killed at the start here. And calm down, Raine, come on. Let's keep a cool head, but I think we're pretty much done. There's a couple of stragglers down there. I'll try to pick them off. That guy over there, he's getting vatsed in the face. Maybe a critical there. There we go. Finish him off, and that's a significant amount of damage for a critical. I've got to try that again, because if we're getting 241 per shot, we've got a 3-round burst there. That's going to do a whole lot of damage. Not against the Gunner Private, though. He's far too squishy for this. Whoops. Targeted the torso one too many times there. 175. And then the rest of that should be boosted by concentrated fire, of course. And I'm only counting 2 in here. Where's the third? Did the third sneak out? Sometimes I feel like they've got a chance to just go through the wall at will because they're Bethesda AI. They also get pushed behind this door every time. It's a very effective tactic of not doing the standard Call of Duty thing. And is that another level up? I don't think I've gotten 2 before. That's nuts. All right, well, maybe I think what happened there is I got a couple of lucky breaks for Idiot Savant, and that allowed me just to get 5 times XP for a little bit longer. Anyways, let's go to a semi-auto one for a second. What's tech, of course. And, yep, check the time. Time to kill, of course. We don't even have a watch on that arm. Give up now, Gunner. So this one's obviously using the standard semi-auto laser gun sounds, and if you fire it super fast, you don't really notice it. I think if you go over... I think I glossed over this, but the Atomics Tech one... Yeah, it all just uses the semi-auto laser gun sound, but yeah, the lasers, they're not as powerful per shot, so I think we won't take them into a fight with a big monster. So we'll go ahead and chuck the Gauss barrel on, walk down the road here, and we'll fight the monster. Alright, looks like he's picked up some friends, and we're holding this with one hand now. We're super cool and stuff. Because reasons. We've got the confidence. I've also done that 20 ammo exploit thing, which was unintentional, but I'm not going to say no to it, right? And where'd that rock go? I thought he just threw that backwards out of his hand. That'd be pretty impressive if he did. And are you going to attack me? Not cool, bro. Now, unfortunately for me, and we've actually run out of VATS hits before it actually timed out. That's how many hits we get. We actually can max out our VATS. Now, we've obviously got a whole lot of AP from our derived agility stat, but still, it's a lot of good things. And look at him throw that rock sideways. That Raider's going to cop it in a second. There he goes. We'll maybe get some cheap little headshots here as I totally tank that rock to the face and not budge a muscle. In fact, the health bar's gone off screen. That's how little damage I've taken, which is to say, none. maybe coming into this with an extra level than usual is setting the setting the damage just out a little bit worse than usual. Just a little bit different. Just got that extra layer of added toughness against this one. Either that or Raine's just really strong, but we're making some pretty good progress against Swan here. I think we could win in an all-out DPS war here, so we'll just keep on hiding behind this carriage here as he tosses giant boulders at us. It's fine. Maybe we'll try to jump up on the train tracks here so we might be able to jump over it. No, that one was a perfectly timed homing missile version. Okay, so after mutation is only hitting me that hard. We're strong. We're strong today. No time like the present to end this dude, so we'll go ahead and shoot him full VATS critical locked on, and we'll finish this fight. Double criticals for the price of one there. 1400 damage per shot. Very nice. And that's it. Ended up getting into Nerd Rage at the very last second there, but the fight was on ice. We probably didn't have to lose that much health to do it, but we decided to play the tanking war, and we came up pretty strong there. Also, I'm looking at this haircut now and just thinking it's Karen. If it didn't have that bun at the back, this would be a full Karen haircut right here. So, hello, I'd like to speak to your manager, please. Could you direct me? Also, he dropped an explosive 44 Magnum. Nice. Alright, so we'll fight through some Babby Raiders. This really shouldn't take long. We'll go through them as fast as possible. In fact, what I'll do is I will put on some of those barrels. You know what? We're going to make this solid gold now because why not? And also we're going to put on a barrel that is fully automatic so we can chop down through these guys really quick. We'll top off the magazine and we will begin. Big green Death Star laser beam. That's what we're seeing now. It looks like it's a recolored version of the laser sniper beam because it's a big fat green one. So the only big fat beams you get in the vanilla game would be the proper sniper laser beams that we get from the... I think it's the pre-war laser gun. What's its actual designation? I think it's AR-7 or something. And that there... Raider is chasing a Mirelurk Queen down with what I believe to be either a switchblade or a toothpick. Anyways, you could admire his balls, but unfortunately, it's only led him to ruin. So perhaps lay off the jet next time, buddy. So we'll quickly deal with the rest of the scum and wasters up here, and we'll take on the jellies. The big queen. Okay, that didn't take very long. Looks like we've aggroed the other Mirelurk at the same time. Now, he's got a little bit more energy resistance, which is not going to be totally in my favor, but I'm going to shoot him in the face repeatedly. 218. That's not even that bad, to be honest. We'll add a critical in the mix. 282. Pretty good. And as soon as we get these crits dialed in, we're in pretty good shape just to keep on shooting him. Now... I like how he's a Mirelurk and we get that cool laser light show off his back. That's really cool. Just the little things they did for Fallout 4 and would go on to be 76. So just give you that little bit of extra. Gives it a little bit of extra pizzazz. You love to see it. Hopefully that kind of attitude, little tiny attention to details like that will be continued in Starfield. Speaking of new games, pre-ordered Redfall. The vampire shooter. Hope it's not going to be terrible, you know. I paid 120 bucks for it, which is a steep price of admission for a game of that stature, so I'm really hoping that it'll live up to it. And also, I wonder if I can kill this thing. That's reflecting purple lasers. I thought they were blue. That's weird. Are they non-textured purple lasers being bounced off? I don't really care, but it's a cool light show nonetheless. Unless my color blindness is kicking in again. Could be, you know. Alright, the rest of this could be done without the use of VATS, I think. We'll try to not hit him in the shell and cause all that damage to get reflected back at us. Never mind. We should have just backed VATS all the way in, because now we are out of fusion cells as of now. So, Gauss barrel, please. Close that menu. Nerd Rage again. A quick reload will sort this out. There we go. So I got Redfall, might stream that tomorrow as of this recording, and if I don't, it's probably because I've finished super late and stuff, and, you know, sometimes work be like that. Also, you notice with the laser sight that it's even further off if you aim it sideways like that. Yeah, maybe this laser sight needs a little bit of recalibrating. Didn't suffer well under the stress test of the Commonwealth Wastelands gun tests that I've run under it, so there we go. Anyways, if you are interested in seeing this thing in your game, check out the link in the description. It should be down there. If I can find an Xbox port to this, it'll be great. If there is an Xbox port, then I would doubt that you'd get to utilize the weapon functions like this, but you can all change it on a workbench anyway. You just have to do it the old-fashioned way, so that's not really that much of a loss. But changing stuff on the fly, I think, is kind of neat too, because I ran out of fusion cells there. Would have been screwed either way or otherwise, so switching back over to the Gauss to finish it off, I think, is a good thing. Also, big iron on your hip moment. You can have this thing on your hip through classic holstered weapons. And if you... yeah, wait, I've already done that. Download it if you want. Thank you very much for watching, guys. See ya.